guys, welcome to another video. So in this video, what we're going to do, something a little bit different. So most of the things we've been doing, they've been on Linux boxes. So now let's actually set up a Windows box. We'll set up a Windows server. And we'll see kind of what we can do with that Windows install. So I'm going to create a new one here. I'm just going to call this, oops. It doesn't like it split up. That's fine. And we will pick 2016. And we'll give this another port. We'll say 24. It's definitely going to need more CPUs. And it's definitely going to need more RAM. So what I'm going to do here is give it about 4 gigs, which Windows servers are going to need more than that. But as we add things to it, we can actually add more RAM. So I'm going to create the ANTLE here. Alright, cool beans. And I'm going to go ahead and add a Virtual Nic to this as well. Alright, there's our web server. Gonna add a Virtual Nic. Alright, we have a Virtual Nic. So, what we're going to do is actually start this puppy up here. So, here's the caveat to starting these Windows servers from kind of this virtual environment. We're not going to be able to initially see what IP we assign to this because it's just starting up, it's just setting up. So ANSLE actually has something really nice and neat here. So we have an option over here. If you click the 3 dots and the down arrow, you have an option to go to the Vnc Console. And what this does is actually opens up a console for you actually to see the server without it actually remoting desktop just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and allow things from that. I had a firewall that blocked this here. So now we should be able to go to the Vnc console. Maybe. There we go. So as you can see, we're connecting in now. Once we're actually connected and the operating system starts up, we will be back. Alright, we're starting to get a little bit of progress. Windows is booting up here. So whenever you install this thing from scratch, you're presented with, of course, the options to give it username and passwords. I'm actually downloading Windows Server 2019 and Windows 10. So in another video, watch out for those where we can install Windows 10 and install literally our own kind of desktop clients. That will be on one of my other ANSLEs with a little bit more RAM because these Windows boxes, of course, they're doing hardware kind of virtualization. So it's virtualizing the video graphics card, it's virtualizing sound cards, it's virtualizing literally everything that you need for your server or for these heavy intensive user interfaces or GUIs. So we will be back here momentarily. Alright, now we're booted into the system. So with this Vnc console, you can't just click into here because you're going to need, of course, your mouse and keyboard. So we will send keys to this server here. So we're going to do a Control-Alt-Delete. We're going to send that to the server. It's going to prompt us for a login here. And to get the default username and passwords for the pre-existing installs outside of the Windows Server 2019, that is in the ANSLE user documentation. So of course this is actually going to boot up a lot faster once things actually start to set up. But again, this is starting kind of a fresh install of Windows Server, so it's prepping all of those things like desktop and user accounts and so on and so forth. If you heard of anything called a sysprep, so it's going through a sysprep process now. So we'll be back once we make it to our desktop. Alright, and things are booting up here. We're logging in. For some of you, this actually looks pretty familiar. We have our server manager here. As you notice, we installed that virtual network. So we can actually say yes and get this enabled here. But what I really want to show you guys, since we're doing a lot of this through this kind of virtualized environment, it's harder for this OpenVPN client, of course, to do all the stuff you need, but it's one of the requirements for this first kind of startup, just so you can get into the box and get things set up and logged in. If you monitor your router, kind of like I do, I could tell when new devices are connected to my network, so I'll have the ability to kind of connect into them and figure out what IP I'm actually using. So what we're going to do now is actually remote desktop into this once we find out our IP address. Okay, once you actually get your start menu up and you actually type in CMD in the search box for your to get the command prompt, we'll do an IP config. Because we're actually looking for our IP address here. Alright, we will try this again. Alright, so now we have an IP address. So we have 10.14.0.140. So what I'm going to do is just exit out of this completely. Okay, we are 140. So I'm going to do remote desktop right here. 10.14.0.140. All right, let's see if we can actually get in. All right, good. All right, yes, that is all right. So this is going to be a little bit faster because, again, Windows is kind of designed to work better with this remote desktop because you're not emulating all these graphics like the OpenVPN. OpenVPN works to display stuff, but if you actually want to get in here and get some stuff done, of course you want to use remote desktop. All right, so we actually have our server. So what we'll do after this is probably turn this into an IIS server. So if you guys like this video and if you're interested in the ANSLE, be sure to check the description. You go to antsle.com, you can pick you up one of these. And the cool thing about this ANSLE is a lot of these things you can do from an AWS or a Droplet or a Voltor server, but having this Windows capability kind of is a game changer, because we're also going to set up some game servers running from the Windows side outside of the Linux side. We'll do a lot more stuff with the Windows install. But until next time, don't forget to please like and subscribe this video. Leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns. And be sure to check out ANSLE and more of my other videos.